Hi guys, I don't know if this should be food of the week as there's still time, but Therese Coffey, the brexiteer, doesn't seem to understand Brexit. Kirsten Oswald from the SNP asked a question about the drop in trade in British fruit to the EU, which was covered in an article in The Guardian this week. Exports fell from £248 million in March 2021 to £119 million in 2022, and saw a further decline to £113 million this year. Whose fault is this? Well, it's the EU's, of course. Have a listen to this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Now, in recent years, Scotland grew a third of the UK's soft fruits, but exports have been quashed because of Brexit, with UK fruit exports falling by more than half from 248.5 million in March 21 to 113.8 million in March 23. So given that Scottish food perishables travel further to Dover and they're more sensitive to delays, among SPS arrangements, what steps is she taking to remove Brexit barriers to trade that her government has imposed on Scottish businesses?
Well, Mr. Speaker, I think given their export arrangements, you'll find it is other countries, it's the European Union that's set in place certain checks. What we have done is had actually a pretty open door for the time since we've left the European Union. That's why we're implementing the target operating model in order to try and make sure that we introduce some further controls, mindful of the biosecurity risks that we face.
This was about exports, not imports, you idiot. She's talking about exports. She's talking about the extra time and the problems facing Scottish farmers, Scottish producers, because their goods obviously have to travel further. So that's a risk to them spoiling. But the checks at the border, the delays, at the border, which are damaging exports as well. And as we've seen, exports have declined. I'll leave a link in the description of this video to the article I was mentioning. But Therese Coffey's response is, well, it's the EU's fault. The EU didn't vote for Brexit. The SNP didn't vote for Brexit. Scotland didn't want Brexit. You wanted Brexit, and now you're throwing farmers under the bus. And your response is, well, we weren't carrying out checks on imports. Yes, but this is about exports, you idiot. Not imports. And obviously, now you're going to carry out checks on imports, finally. And what will that do? Well, it's going to drive up prices because it's going to be more expensive and more bureaucratic for European exporters to Britain. And those costs will be passed on to who? It'll be passed on to the British consumer. This is the Brexit that Therese Coffey wanted, it seems, but she doesn't want to take responsibility for it. And what is the government doing to help ease this? Nothing. They're saying Brexit is fine, nothing to worry about here. Or if there are problems, well, it's not our fault. It's the EU's fault. They imposed third country status on us. It's weird how Brexiteers would say the EU didn't want us to go, and now they're complaining about the consequences of third country status. But then this is Therese Coffey. She either doesn't understand Brexit or is pretending not to. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.